In this video, I'm going to show you how to model beams in Autodesk Robot. But in our previous video, we created columns. So today we are going to connecting those beams to the columns. If you haven't watched that yet, the link is in the description below. So today we are going to model beams of reinforced concrete, steel, and timber. And to do that, we are going to start by defining the section type. So move to section member, which is on the right part of your screen. So I'm going to click on new section, which is the first white paper. I'm going to choose the section type. We are going to start with RC beams, and on material we are going to choose concrete 2530. Concrete 2530 means concrete within strength 25 to 30 megapascals. So on the label, you're going to label the type of beam. For example, we will start by modeling our ground beam, so I'm going to name it GBE, which means ground beam. You're going to choose a color. I don't know, choose any kind of color you prefer. For example, I'll choose this, and you're going to set the section of the beam. For example, I'm modeling a ground beam here, so I'll choose 20 by 30. Once you're done, you're going to add that, and if you close it, you're going to see that your beam has been created GBE. To choose a steel beam, you're going to come down from RC beam, come down to steel, and on steel, you're going to choose the kind of steel you want to use. For example, I like the S355. That's the kind of material I like using. And on your database, you're going to choose, for example, I use France on my database family. I'm going to make sure it's IPE. And if yours is not IPE, maybe it's the HB model, you're going to choose it from these. But my family is IPE. Then for section, I'm using 200. So I'm using IPE 200. You can use any other section that is based on your project preference. On auto, you can choose the color of your beam. Any color you choose here is going to do. Once done, you add. We are going to move to timber sections, and to create a timber section. Timber is mostly used for lighter structures, for example, residential homes. And to be able to choose a timber section, you move from section type, which is RC beam, to RC to timber. And on the timber, you're going to choose the kind of material you are using. For example, if you're using Eurocode, you discover that this is based on Eurocode 5, so D30 corresponds to something, D40 corresponds to something. For example, just check your wood in your area. If your wood is Eurocode, go to Eurocode and see where Eurocode falls. Maybe it's D40, I don't know, you're going to check that out. So click D40, and on your database, you are going to choose Eurocode 5. If you don't know how your database came about, you need to watch our video on how to set project preference, so you know how your Eurocode 5 came about. On the family, I like to use beam because this model I'm using a beam, and the beam model I'm going to use is I'll come down to section. There are standard sections here, but I'm going to use 200 by 200. Once done, I'm just going to click add and click on close. So I have just defined different beam models for concrete, steel, and wood. Click close, and now I'm going to model this beam on Autodesk Robot. To do that, we are going to start by modeling the RC beam. Click on your beam on the top right beneath your axis line, which is this, and you go to section type. On section type, I'll use the RC beam, and probably we set just one section, which is GBE, so I'll just choose GBE. I'll click on beginning here, and I'll just connect my column. So here's my column. I'm going to connect it to this other column, and I'm just going to connect my beams. So this is basically how I input my beams in Autodesk Robot. To see what we have done in 3D, you're just going to click on close here, navigate to viewport, which is up here, and you're going to see how I've connected my beams to my RC columns. Let's take a look at the steel section. Navigate to plan, click on the beams. I'm going to change from RC beam to steel beam, and we are using IP 200 for this case. So these are our IP models. We are going to select from this column to this. We are going to do the same thing. And let's say, for example, you wanted to put IP 100 this way, you're going to change from IP 200 to IP 100, and you're going to connect. Once done, you're going to click on close and navigate to the view tab, which is here. You're going to see our IP model being created. This is our wooden structure, so we are going to navigate to the wood section. You click on beams, and you change from steel beams on section type to timber. And we're going to use the beam 200 by 200 timber section. Make sure you are on beginning, and you navigate to the timber section. So here's the timber section. We are going to draw. Once done, we are going to click on close and move to our viewport, and we are going to see there is one simple thing you can do to assist us here, which is basically free, by clicking the subscribe button. And if you do that, we promise you we'll keep improving on our models, we'll keep making materials available for you for free.